this
back and
woman
forth.
is living in a Looney Tune world, and she's allowed to live in a Looney Tune world because she's a female. That is a privilege that only women have, where they could be this delusional, this unaware, lack this much critical thinking, and still make it by in life. If we took her brain and put it in a man's body, he'd be f***ing homeless.
No.
Because this girl's
See, that's
low
what
IQ.
you are doing.
This is
That's what you
incredible.
are doing.
And
You're
she's
the
a
one
college student too.
off
This is the perfect
campuses
example of higher
trying
education
to-
does not mean that you're higher IQ. This is crazy. You're good. You're good. Go ahead. Let her go first. She was there.
Hi. Your statement here, women deserve less.
Yes.
What substantiates that conclusion?
What substantiates why men need to give women less?
Why? Wait. Because what you said was different. You said, okay, I'm reading, women deserve less. And then you said, men something give women less?
Women deserve less?
Okay, so that claim. What substantiates that claim?
Because women are incredibly entitled, rude, narcissistic, solipsistic, have huge egos.
Okay, so let's zero in on that one point.
Okay, again, with this iteration of huge egos and thinking they're better than everyone else, it comes from the perspective of a man who doesn't understand that they came from a long history of oppression, which is why it oftentimes goes in line with or in a coalition of understanding what it means to be an oppressed individual, which usually leads to the minority discussion, which of course he sees as him conquering it because he's a successful man in a society of which told him he'd be unsuccessful because he sees himself as a winner in a society where everyone else sees themselves as losers. Because of this, he sees himself again as a person who can guide and lead someone, whereas he's gonna again show his misunderstanding of historical doctrines of imperialism on how you need someone who thinks less of themselves in order to make capitalism and exploitative networks work, in order to get the logistics of people and objectification of women, which now sees them as a resource gain. So now they have to be a little bit extra loud or a little bit more confident than other people would prefer in order just to be seen in an environment where they're already seen as the equivalency as like a piece of paper or a pencil that is to be written over or spoken over, or then uploaded your sentience or your discussion of what your ideology is, so that she has to obey you. Which is why this system and this indoctrination of why women act this way is going to be shown here, why he is going to again probably speak over her and show that he is superior and that she's incapable of having the same conversation, which I've seen this plenty of times, is of course that the woman is going to try and make her point but silence herself in his presence, which is unfortunate because that's called the patriarchy speaking through her rather than her own independence that can guide her through the education, which of course she is seeing for herself what it means to live in a patriarchal world.